the Holy Prophet and your enthusiasm for emulating his beautiful example, the example of the chosen one of Allah, the highest model for humanity in the world. God willing, for every step you have taken on the way here, you will find goodness and blessing as a reward and recompense from Allah Ta'ala. Today, the 26th of July 1997, corresponds to the 22nd of Rabi al-Awwal 1418. Tuesday morning on the 12th of Rabi al-Awwal, corresponding to the 22nd of April 571 Miladi, the world became illuminated by the light of the existence and the good tidings of the birth of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa. Since that time until today, more than 14.5 centuries have passed, during which the exalted name of Muhammad has remained on every tongue without any interruption. Whether before his attaining to the role of prophethood or after his being honored with the mantle of prophethood, the lofty station of the messenger has remained firmly planted in the hearts and minds of his followers. His sacred religion, shining with the light of the rays of the world-illuminating Quran, has spread out over the face of the earth, and no other law until today has ever been able to compete or compare to the heavenly path of Islam, because Islam is the religion of truth and morality, and the religion which develops human potentiality. It was part of the divine will that this prophetic message would be the last religion and the most perfect one. He entrusted it to a prophet who was in a state of illiteracy, but whose eloquent expression, following of the spiritual path, and deep wisdom, his firmness of faith, truth of action, all bear testimony to his worthiness of prophethood, as do his exalted character and the miracle of the Holy Quran. Before the mission of Muhammad, the Prophet of Allah, all the heavenly religions and also all of the laws and codes developed by humans had proliferated, so that every group was attached to a religion and bound to a code. Although there was some general acceptance of the heavenly religions at that time, still, according to its own followers, every religion was respectable and reasonable, and even every false code was accepted by the hearts and minds of its followers. Islam was the most recent religion which had come into existence and announced its own appearance. With unimaginable determination, it abrogated all defective and false religious codes and laws, past and present and current, in favor of the divine unity and the message of Muhammad, peace be upon him. And it overthrew the banners and stone and ivory idols they had worshipped. It removed the basis of tyranny, which was conceit, arrogance, and the domination of leaders by force and wealth. It established human equality as the primary principle and brought the eternal law of Allah to that materialistic society. How was this new religion able in the shortest period and with astonishing rapidity, despite all difficulties, to prevail and then spread outside of the Arabian Peninsula and all over the face of the earth? The learned scholars of Islam have already completely covered this topic. Still, we can say that the masters of knowledge and insight and the researchers of high attainment agree on the importance of the revolutionary teachings of Islam and the primary role of the leadership of the pride of humanity, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in achieving this unprecedented acceptance. God willing, we will hear more on this topic today. However, in the short time remaining, I wish to speak very briefly, focusing on the theme of the great character of Muhammad, peace be upon him. His brilliant personality, trustworthiness, and honesty, his eloquent and persuasive speech, his iron will and constancy leave nothing lacking in the beautiful character of Muhammad. Like Zamzam water, he brought the miraculous and holy divine Quran to the thirsting hearts of the Arabs, which had become dried out by their hunger for status and money. Although he had no high social position, he was able to reach their hearts despite the oppression of their leaders and their power, force, and pride, because of the purity and sweetness with which the Holy Quran was brimming. Other than guidance, divine inspiration, eloquent speech, and firm and constant virtue, the Holy Prophet used no other force or violent means to draw people to Islam. Out of their familiarity with the noble character of the Prophet, they realized that he was not a deceiver or liar, and that what he presented was the truth, which they should accept and obey. Even those whose hearts had become so darkened by pride and lust for power that they could not accept the equality of other persons, and who obstinately rejected the truth and remained firm in polytheism and falsehood, could at no time deny the high character of the Prophet, his honesty and high virtues. At the same time, by various tricks and proposals, they attempted to make deals with the Prophet. The great worshippers of falsehood among the Arabs were ready to give Muhammad rule over all nations and the leadership of the Quraysh tribe, material wealth, the choice of the most beautiful women, whatever worldly pleasures or power he desired. But they would only accept a prophet who went along with their rules and customs, and who would not combat or end their false practices. Hazrat Muhammad, peace be upon him, in answer to such people said, "I have only been sent by God as a messenger, so that what he reveals will be revealed to you, and so that you will come to know the divine guidance and human fulfillment. I didn't come to become a chief with power or to possess the gold, land, and women of the Arabs." Thus the pagan Arabs of the Quraysh made a proposal to him. "The condition for us accepting your religion and your God is that you incorporate some elements of our belief and give support to them." This time, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, replied with the eloquent and explicit divine speech which declared, "Say, O Muhammad, O disbelievers, I will never practice associationism with those idols which you worship as gods. You will never worship the one God whom I worship. I will never worship your false gods. You will never worship my one God. So you keep your polytheistic and false religion, and I shall worship in the religion of Tawheed." And this is, of course, Surah Kafirun. He vowed, the Holy Prophet, "Still until the day when you abandon shirk and come to the way of the unity of God and the worship of God, I will try to guide you." The Holy Prophet, through enduring the pain of his orphan childhood, deprived of the affection of both mother and father, understood from the time of his youth the need of a person for this first source of spiritual and emotional support, and for love and affection. He instinctively realized the truth of that essence which humans take on with existence, and that the sole and best source of reliance is Allah, with whom refuge should be taken, and who loves his creation. Therefore, the path and character of Muhammad was love and affection for the Creator and for the one who should truly be worshipped, whom every person should inevitably praise and love, together with affection and respect which everyone should hold for the human being, who is the masterpiece of God's attributes and the Khalifa of Allah on this earth. The greatest support in spreading the religion day after day and in convincing them of the eternal message of the Holy Book were the character, behavior, and speech of Muhammad, through which those who followed him found guidance and came to support him with their very lives.